What is up, my brothers and sisters? So, I've been hearing a lot about this submarine that went to go look at the Titanic, like James Cameron, and it imploded, is what they're saying. They had no failsafe. Apparently, they used a video game controller to steer the underwater craft, and they're saying there's a bunch of debris everywhere. Um, First off, they said it imploded, which would make sense because, for one, it's at the bottom of the ocean. For two, um, and being at the bottom of the ocean and in a submarine is one and the same as you got to imagine you're in a soda can. After you've emptied it, of course, and popped the top. So, what you have is an empty aluminum can, in other words, right? Pretend that that's the submarine. Now, when you stand on top of that soda can, it is not going to crush unless you give it some kind of force or pressure, like when you stomp on it, like you used to do back in the day when you recycled cans. Well, at least I did. And you like go through every can, right? And then you get good at it and you put them in a row and you're like, right? You start your own recycling center. Anyways, so with that being said, it's kind of like that, but more on the sense of like you just standing on it, okay? The soda can is going to hold you up and your weight, which is unbelievable. It's kind of cool. But the moment you put like a dent in the side of that can and then you decide to step on it, it's going to crush. Well, the dent would be the implosion, and the weight of the water at the bottom of the ocean would be that weight. So, with that being said, I find it hard to believe that there's a bunch of debris all over the floor of the ocean and that they found it, because an implosion is not like an explosion. Okay, an explosion would be like, like we see in the movies, guys jumping away. Will Juice make it? See you next week's episode, right? And did he survive the explosion? And that's different than an implosion. Okay, so an implosion is an instance of something collapsing violently inward, not outward, like an explosion. So, in other words, they got crushed. They turned into a soda can. They went to the recycling factory. They didn't explode and there's a bunch of like debris everywhere, right? A sudden failure or collapse of an organization or system. Excuse me. Let's see. The star undergoes a violent implosion caused by gravity. Then it says an instance of something collapsing violently inward. Noun. Plural noun. So, with that being said, there it is. Huh, weird. That I looked up this keyword and there it is. Huh. Yeah, because I'm like finding this out as we go. I'm kind of freestyling it. So, Titan sub implosion. What we know about the catastrophic event. Well, what do y'all know? Y'all weren't there. Is that it? It's like the size. It's not even the size of like a Volkswagen. Like, how the hell did y'all find that at the bottom of the ocean? There's like rocks, wells, jellyfish. Well, yeah, jellyfish. Probe seeks answers on why Titanic sub imploded. So I don't understand why it was so hard to find these guys when where they should be looking is apparently around the Titanic. I don't know. I'm assuming that I mean, I don't really know much about this. I've just been hearing a lot about it, so I'm just going off of what I'm seeing. I really don't. You always got to take into consideration, did it even really happen at all? I mean, I wasn't there. I can't get to the bottom of the ocean. Can you? Huh, nobody? Well, I guess we're just going to have to go off of what these guys tell us. And that's usually not a good thing, at least in my opinion. So, with that being said, I had overheard through the grapevine of YouTube that they used a video game controller. And I'm like, what? What? That's crazy. I mean, how genius, right? Because everybody's like, that's stupid. And I'm like, well, yeah, I guess they could have kept this simple and just put like a steering wheel on it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Kind of like a car, maybe put like a shift gear. That way they could put it in reverse and like, I mean, I don't know. I'm no submarine guy. So I figured, I was like, where would they get such an idea? You know what I mean? I'm like, why would like that guy just be like, you know what? genius idea. And he's like, what? We're going to use a video game controller to steer the damn thing. And he's like, what? I know. He's like, why didn't I think of that earlier? But judging by by the incident that has occurred, perhaps they should have used the Power Glove, as seen here depicted. I mean, I think even like that Thanos guy might even take into consideration that this thing is badass right here, right? I mean, look, shoot, 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 shoot. I mean, it's slick, right? I mean, if not, why didn't they just do what the Ghostbuster did and shoot a bunch of slime at it? The submarine. You know what I mean? Your love, the people. See? Sammy's got the game controller right there. Dan Aykroyd steering the Statue of Liberty. That's because she's a symbol of something pure. And Bill and Ted pulled it off. I mean, why not? They had the robot S's, you know what I'm saying? I mean, how could you go wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, how could you go wrong? I mean, if these guys did it, why not? We can steer a submarine. I mean, right? I mean, I don't know.